Welcome to the Practical Mystic Show, where we bring you simple tips and techniques from around the globe to help practical people deal with extraordinary experiences. And now, your favorite scientist, shaman, and sacred clown, and also the show's host, Janine Bolin.
Welcome to the Practical Mystic Show. I'm Janine Bolin, and today we're talking about how to be a habitual saver, how to be a wealth accumulator, and have a mindfulness about your money. We're walking through the 10 steps to abundance, and today we're on step 7, which is the positive purposes for the law of cause and effect. Now, the principle that we're going to be talking about today is one that we all kind of know, but I kind of wanted to put a different spin on it, and that is, it's the principle that the universe will fill a void if we create an emptiness in our lives. And so in kind, it's also well known, like it goes by many different names in various ways, but like when people declutter, right, they'll say, okay, I cleaned off this desk and nature abhors a vacuum, right? That's one of those that we talk about, is that if there's a horizontal surface, it's almost a requirement that something go on that cleaned horizontal surface. It's like people can't stand the fact that there's nothing on it. So nature abhors a vacuum is what a lot of people have said. But depending upon your cultural background or your religious background, I've heard other different sorts of versions of this. So you have the law of cause and effect, the law of the harvest. What you sow, you shall reap. What goes around comes around. Birds of a feather flock together. To him that has, more shall be given, and like begets like. So what I'd like to do is chat with you real quick about how to use this law for your health and well-being. So despite this near universal acceptance of this well-known law, people still have difficulty implementing it when they need something or when they see that others are in need. When you're serving the needs of others, it seems that the universe goes into working overtime to get you what you need so that you can succeed. You see this with people who are highly charitable and philanthropic. They always seem to be able to get what they need. I mean, yes, you still have to do your part and work like crazy while you work toward your goal, but you have to do that anyway, right? I mean, you're already passionate about things in this world that you want to change, so stay in your passion, but why not rope the universe into helping you out as well? I mean, use the law of cause and effect to do good in your particular corner of the world. That's basically what I'm saying here. So how do you do that? Well, it's kind of easy. What you do is you give away what you want to come back to you. It's just like a boomerang. So how do we get this law of philanthropic tendencies, this law of charity, this law of cause and effect working? Well, here are some things I've learned from my 25 years of helping people with their money and the ways that I have seen my clients and my students be quite creative in using the law of cause and effect for their own purposes. So let's just say you live in fear of starving, like you're worried that you're not going to have enough food in your life. What you do is you give food away. I actually have a family member that has this problem, this challenge. You know, she has this fear that she's going to starve. So she likes to really buy in bulk. I mean, if you were to walk into her home, you would find 25-pound sacks of rice under her bed. I mean, this is just one of her issues. She acknowledges it. We all know about it. And it's funny, if somebody ever runs out of food, we know the first place to go. We'll ask her. But I've learned so many tricks on how to store food from her. Because of her issue, she has been quite an educator to me on how you go about preparing and how you go about keeping 2 to 3 months of food supplies, okay? So anyway, if you live in fear of starving, give food away. If you're afraid of being homeless, offer your house as a place to stay to people. I mean, people you trust, you know, use your common sense. But the point is whatever you are worrying about, whatever you are like in fear of, those are the things that you become charitable of, and the law of cause and effect will make sure you always are in abundance, such as if you're worried about not having enough clothes for yourself or your children, give clothes away. And it's amazing how they will come back to you. Those clothes will come back to you. Lastly, if you really want more money in your life, guess where we're headed with this? You're right. Start giving money away. Give as much money away as you can without straining your budget for rent, food, your mortgage, tuition, insurance payments, medical bills. You get my idea. What I want you to do is anytime you are inspired to give money away and you happen to see a panhandler on the street, go ahead and give your money away. This is how you get what goes around comes around operating for you. There is money in your life that you can give away without putting you, your family, or anyone that you love out on the street. If this is not the case, if you really are in a dire situation where you can't even afford food, then I say to you, get thee to a food bank and start getting aid. Why? You need to swallow that pride you have and accept help so that you can get to where you are more stable financially. And a lot of times, getting help from a food bank is a perfect way to stabilize yourself and your family so that you can move forward and become a habitual saver. It is then and only then that you can move into abundant living, is once you stabilize. Now, I rant and rave a lot on this topic in my classes and in my seminars. I can remember when I got to meet the late Sam Walton. He was the co-founder of Walmart, and he told me about the number one secret of success in business, and that is replicate yourself. Now, this principle holds true for money as well. So, true, the universe isn't one of my employees, but so what? A helping hand, or whatever the universe provides, is still a helping hand. Consider what it is that you are afraid of and fight that fear by giving what you need to others. It is a beautiful expression of saying, what goes around comes around. But I want to back up a moment and go back to that get help and aid. Realize that there are people in this world who are wanting to help you become financially stable so that you can bounce from wherever you are. So if you're one of those people who is starving, who does not have enough food for you or your family, swallow your pride and get to a food bank. I have had clients who I find out 30 to 60 days within them helping, paying me to get themselves into a better financial place that are literally do not have enough food, but they refuse to go get food help from institutions and organizations that they had access to based on pride. This is the thing. I want you to become financially stable. I want you to become a habitual saver and a wealth accumulator, because I know that your current financial situation is temporary, and I know you can get yourself out of it, but sometimes you just got to have a little help. I have had people in very dire financial situations come to me. As soon as they went to the food bank and got help, and they stopped worrying about how they were going to buy their next item of food for their family, they relaxed enough so that they could then focus on opportunities that started to come to them. Then they were able to go to other institutions and organizations to get a business suit, to get items that have charities that help them. They learned how to interview better. They learned to get a better paying job. They were able to move up the scale, and they went from being homeless and on the streets into a house eventually. It took them 7 years. I'm thinking of one person particularly. It took her 7 years to get there, but she started off being able to get a place to rent, and then after renting a place for 7 years, she got a better paying job. She is now a mail carrier for the U.S. Postal Service, and she has now been able to purchase a home. So what I want to encourage you to do is use the law of cause and effect to your own benefit. If there's something that you're afraid of, whether it's, I'm not going to have enough money, I'm going to starve to death, I'm not going to have a place to live, I'm going to be homeless on the street corner, something like that, take that fear, and if you can, give money to a charity that assuages that fear, right? So if you're worried about being homeless and out on the street, donate to a charity that's doing good work for the homeless. And I just don't know why this works, but it does. And so these are the types of things that are steps in the right direction to living an abundant life. So hang with us. The last couple of episodes of the Practical Mystic Show have been on the 10 steps to abundance. In the next episode, we'll talk about step 8, which is the flow of money. If you want, go to my website and sign up for my 10 Steps of Abundance course that's free online, and you will see that in the show notes below. See you in the next episode.
This has been the Practical Mystic Show with Janine Bolin. For show notes, resources, and more, visit the8gates.com. Thanks for listening.